Alright, let's talk about something we've all definitely experienced, the fart dilemma. You're sitting in a meeting, or maybe in the middle of a first date, when all of a sudden, you feel that familiar rumble in your stomach. You try to ignore it, but it's getting louder. Your body says, "Let me out." But your brain says, "Nope, not today." So you clench, you cross your legs, and you pray you make it through. But here's the real question. What would happen if you held in your farts forever? Yeah, I'm talking about forever. Could you even survive that? Let's start with the basics. Farting. It's natural. And it's not just for the person sitting next to you in traffic. Nope, you're doing it too. Probably more than you realize. On average, people fart about 14 to 23 times a day. Yes, you heard me right. And if you think you're special because you don't fart that much, well, you might just be holding them in. Which, as we're about to find out, is a really bad idea. Now, why do we fart in the first place? Well, when you eat, your digestive system breaks down your food. But what's left over isn't just the nutrients, you get gas. And that gas, folks, it's mostly nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, methane, and hydrogen. Yeah, sounds fancy, right? But really, it's just your gut's way of saying, "Hey, I'm doing my job." Okay, now, imagine this. You're holding in that fart for hours. You're doing your best to be polite, but your body has other plans. So what happens when you just keep squeezing it in? Well, first, you get this pressure. It's like trying to hold in a balloon that's slowly inflating inside you. And trust me, it's not fun. When you hold in gas, it doesn't just disappear. It builds up in your intestines. So now, you're sitting there, clenching your cheeks, feeling like you're about to pop. That discomfort? That's the gas moving around in your gut, trying to escape. And as you can imagine, the longer you hold it in, the more bloating and pressure you feel. And let's be honest, no one enjoys the feeling of a bloated stomach. Alright, so what are the real risks of holding in farts? You might think, it's not that big of a deal, I can hold it. But here's the thing, long-term fart suppression can mess with your digestive system. If you keep holding it in, you're basically putting your intestines under constant pressure. If you're constantly holding in gas, your intestines start to stretch. The pressure makes your stomach feel like a balloon about to pop. So what happens next? More bloating, more pain. And guess what? You're at risk for developing more serious issues like irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. And trust me, nobody wants to spend their weekend Googling how to deal with IBS flare-ups. Now we've all been there. You're in a quiet room, maybe on a date, or in an elevator full of strangers. And that feeling starts creeping in. You feel it. The pressure. The gas wanting to escape. And for some strange reason, we all think we can just power through it, like we're some kind of superhero. But holding it in is actually a terrible idea. Why? Because your body doesn't care about your social norms. It's just doing its thing, whether you like it or not. If you try to hold it in, you're just postponing the inevitable. And trust me, the moment it finally escapes, it's going to be way worse than just letting it out in the first place. It'll be like a sneaky ninja fart. Silent, but deadly. Okay, now let's talk about some real consequences. Can holding in farts actually harm you? The answer is yes. Over time, constant gas buildup can cause your intestines to stretch. That's not just uncomfortable. It's dangerous. When you keep gas inside for too long, it puts you at risk for things like bowel obstruction, or even a ruptured intestine. Now, I know that sounds like something out of a medical horror movie, but it's a real possibility. Holding it in for too long can cause serious damage to your digestive system. So, imagine this. What if you were never allowed to fart again? If you somehow managed to hold in gas forever, what would happen? Well, the pressure inside your intestines would continue to build up, and the longer you hold it, the more intense that pressure gets. Eventually, your intestines could actually rupture from the pressure. That's right. You'd have a bursting intestine. And let me tell you, that's definitely not a party. At that point, you'd be in serious medical trouble. Think emergency surgery and a lot of time in the hospital. So what's the best way to handle this situation? Is there a way to keep things under control while also keeping your dignity intact? Here's the deal. Don't hold it in. Seriously, if you feel that fart coming, let it go. Just find a private space, maybe step away from the crowd, and let your body do its thing. Sure, it might not be the most elegant moment, but trust me, your stomach will thank you later. And hey, if you're worried about embarrassment, there are always discreet ways to deal with it. You could always make a quick exit, go to the bathroom, or even just blame it on the dog. We've all been there. To wrap it up, here's the bottom line. Holding in farts isn't just uncomfortable, it's potentially harmful to your health. Farting is natural. It's what your body does when it's processing food. So the next time you feel that rumble, don't hold it in. Just let it go. Your digestive system will thank you, and hey, you'll probably feel a whole lot better. Remember, farting is totally normal, and it's a whole lot healthier than holding it in. So, go ahead, take a deep breath, and let one rip. Just maybe not in an elevator full of strangers.